Welcome, everyone, to this week's Kanpai News for the week commencing the 2nd of August, 2026. We have, in fact, moved on into August. Only a few months left in the year, and we're almost at the best time, Halloween. I say that.
Spooky.
I mean, if people can start celebrating Christmas at the end of October, or the beginning of October, can't I celebrate Halloween now? I ask you.
No. Yes.
I'm your host, Nasuth. I'm joined, as always, by Zeno and Thaylien. How are you boys this week?
It is a week.
Good.
Is indeed a week. As I said, it's the week commencing the 2nd of August, in fact, it's that week. Right. We do not have a huge number of stories to get to get through this week, but we're going to still try and get through them relatively quickly, starting with another death in the industry. Anime producer Masayasu Sagisu dies at 93. Composer Shiro Sagisu announced on the site formerly known as Twitter that his uncle, anime producer Masayasu Sagisu, died on July 12th at the age of 93. A private funeral was held for the family members. Born in Tokyo in 1932, Sagisu was the younger brother of director and producer Soji Ushio, also known as Tomio Sagisu. Shiro Sagisu. We already knew that. Oh no, we don't. Shiro Sagisu's father. Okay, yeah. No, sorry. Masayasu Sagisu worked as a director and producer at Aiken, formerly known as TCJ Animation, contributing to numerous classic animes including Tetsujin 28, 8-Man, Super Jetter, Space Boy Soren, and Sazae-san. I know Tetsujin was one of those seminal animes. I've never actually watched it, but I know it's supposed to be really important.
It is. Wow, that's a legacy. He will be missed. So next up, Crunchyroll and Starz bundle up on Prime Video. Interesting. Crunchyroll and Starz have teamed up for a new bundle available now through Amazon Prime Video in the US, priced at $17 per month, undercutting the cost of subscribing to Starz standalone plan and a Crunchyroll tier separately, with Starz being $12 a month. The bundle arrives months after Crunchyroll raised its own subscription prices in February, bumping the fan tier to $10, Mega Fan tier to $14, and Ultimate Fan tier to $18 monthly. So yeah, 17 is far less than 21 per month. Crunchyroll also ended free ad-supported streaming on December 31st last year, which I haven't quite forgiven them for. The platform remains a joint venture between Sony Pictures Entertainment and Aniplex, both subsidiaries under Japan's Sony Group.
I mean, Are we starting to see a...
We're moving back towards cable bundles.
Well, no, that mostly because platforms are struggling too much in competing for the consumer wallet. To me, I just don't see a point in Amazon Prime Television because you have to buy all these additional bundles. I'd rather just go, nah, fuck that noise. And
there's too many different services and not enough good programming on any of them to fill the void. I mean, you were kind of seeing this towards the end of cable too, when you would have packages that had hundreds of channels in them, but you'd only watch 7 or 8.
3.
If that.
Yeah.
So they had the Golden Goose, the original Netflix idea.
Yep.
Where
I would even say
everybody would get paid for stuff they put on there.
I would actually say that the hype was Netflix and Hulu, because then you had a little bit of competition.
Yes. But then they shot it.
Yep.
And they all wanted to make their own, and it's then backfired. It's become cable again. Or
good old executives thinking they know what they're doing, and they don't. Right. Moving on. Afro takes a break from the Campfire. Laidback Camp and Mono creator Afro is going on hiatus, with both manga pausing serialization after health issues stemming from the stress of working on 2 series simultaneously, according to Hobunsha? I think it's Hobuncha's Manga Time, Kirara magazine, and the Comic Fuzz website. No return date has been set for either title. Afro launched Layback Camp in 2015 before moving it to Comic Fuzz in 2019, with Hobansha releasing its 18th volume this past November. The series has spawned 3 anime seasons, a film, and a live-action drama, with a 4th anime season due in 2027. Mono launched in 2017 and got its own anime this past April. And in all honesty, like, if you like chill series, that's more like hobbyist than slice of life. These are good fun series to watch.
You actually watch Mono?
So I've watched Mono as well. Yeah, like I genuinely, it's quite funny because on a minor tangent in Mono, they try to do this eating competition sort of thing, and the character that wins the eating competition is actually from Laid Back Camp. Did you
know when you watched Mono that it was from the same creator as Laid Back Camp?
It had the feeling, but then it started making mention to Laid Back Camp and everything, and so it was like, yeah. So it's honestly, they're both great series. They're both nice and chill and things like that. I don't know if they would be up Nasuth Street, but they're not as slice of lifey and they're more focused on the hobbyist side of things.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I did like My Dress Up Darling for that reason. So who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, Your Name gets a decade later do-over. G-Kids released a trailer on Wednesday for the 10th anniversary 4K remaster of Makoto Shinkai's Your Name, hitting North American theaters on August 14th ahead of a 4K UHD Steelbook and Blu-ray release on August 25th. Now, we did talk about this before, but that was before they released the trailer, so I assume people... Oh, it's moving at super fast speed because that's how I have things set up. So I figured people might want to have a look at that while it's playing. The film follows rural schoolgirl Mitsuha and city boy Taki as they navigate swapped bodies and a fate-bending connection. Originally released in Japan in August 2016, it remains the country's 6th highest-grossing film ever. Meanwhile, the long-gestating Hollywood live-action remake, produced by Paramount and J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot, is still set to be written and directed by Carlos Lopez Estrada. And we hope it never sees the light of day, because live-action... J.J. Abrams anime sounds like a terrible idea.
Lens flares for everyone!
Yeah.
Tengu Tōsen draws swords on YouTube. The short anime project Tengu Tōsen, or Tengu Demon Sword Fight, produced jointly by Bandai Namco Entertainment and IP company Plot, began streaming its first full episode for free on YouTube last Friday. Blending traditional fantasy battles with Japanese sword fighting, the story follows Akari Hiromiya, a boy imbued with the spirit of a fearsome demon, as he wields a sword against evil Tengu alongside fellow Tobatsushi cadets. The cast includes Suichiro Umeda as Akari, Taihi Kimura as his brother Haruto, and Shinji Kawada as the great Tengu Kurama. The project previously ran side story shorts before kicking off its main narrative. So this is... interesting, especially as it's free.
So this is another one that's like a moving manga. There's a lot of still poses or very slight waving like that. But the poses change often enough that I don't have a problem with it. My main problem is that it's not subtitled in English. Like otherwise for a moving manga, it looks pretty good.
Criterion Channel says get in the robot Shinji starting September. Criterion Channel will add Neon Genesis Evangelion along with the films Evangelion Death True Squared and The End of Evangelion. What's Death True Squared? Is that like Death and Rebirth? Yes. To its lineup on September 1st. G-Kids holds the North American rights, having licensed the titles back in 2020 and recently screened the 2 films theatrically for the franchise's 30th anniversary. The iconic mecha series follows Shinji Akari as he pilots a humanoid decisive weapon to defend Tokyo 3 from mysterious angels. The edition follows Criterion's steady rollout of anime titles over the past year, including Gunbuster the movie, Ghosts in the Shell Standalone Complex, Gatchaman the movie, and the K-On! Film. What were you going to say, Nasuth?
Death True Squared is Death and Rebirth. It's just a different name for it.
Fuck knows why.
It might be the official one, and then we changed it in America because we're weird. The other thing is Criterion. So the Criterion collection is like a well-known collection of the best examples of cinema or something. This is not saying that Ava is in the Criterion collection. It's just going to be on their streaming service.
Right. Okay.
It may be in there, but I don't know for sure. So,
moving on.
All right. Nominations.
Moving on.
Right. Moving on to the Apothecary Diaries returns to bloom in Ibaraki. The Apothecary Diaries is teaming up with Ibaraki Prefecture's Kanko Ibaraki tourism site again, reviving the Ibaraki is Blossoming campaign with a new key visual and a refreshed campaign website. The accounts announced on the site formerly known as Twitter. Oh, sorry, that was a continuation of the sentence. Refreshed campaign website. The accounts announced on the site formerly known as Twitter. Ibaraki TV also released a promotional video on YouTube featuring Jinchi and Mao Mao touring the prefecture's 4 seasons. The collaboration previously ran from last October through January with special trains and a stamp rally. The anime's 3rd season premieres in October 2026, with the 2nd core following in April 2027. Crunchyroll streams both prior seasons along with their English dubs.
The thing that I really want to know, and this is more about Apothecary Diaries than it is this campaign, is will the movie that comes out in Japan in December be necessary viewing for the second half of season 3?
I imagine
it will. I really hope not.
Well,
because we're not going to get it for a solid year and a half later.
Unless it comes out on streaming services really quickly, which it might.
It's not. It's never going to. I've never known that to happen.
Well, I don't know. I assume it will be, because for the same reason Chainsaw Man is going to be. But I guess you never know.
Yeah, but it's like Chainsaw Man is between seasons. This is aired halfway through a season.
Oh, yes. True. It might be like the one for, was it Code White? The one for Spy Family, where it's like a side story. Who knows?
I hope so.
So, for our last regular news article, Webtoons break out of your phone and into your living room. Researchers at KAIST announced on July 21st the development of Comic XR, described as the world's first extended reality platform for Webtoons, letting readers experience and create comics within real-world environments rather than on a phone screen. Led by Ian Oakley, the open-source platform uses MetaQuest Pro to place 3D characters, speech bubbles, and sound effects through physical spaces, with eye tracking that reveals dialogue only when the readers focus on a specific character to avoid spoilers. Additional features include expression-triggered visual effects and heartbeat haptic feedback. The team envisions XR comics complementing, not replacing, traditional smartphone webtoons. So that sounds like it could be really clever. It just depends on how much the media adopts it.
Yeah. Well, and how ubiquitous 3D environment, or like VR becomes.
Yeah, because I think that's going to be their biggest problem.
I mean, I guess anyone can get Google Cardboard, but
so. Also, this is not so much the going to be just for like VR users, because you can actually
you use your mouse to mount to do the same thing.
You can desktop mode your computer with a camera, or you can actually use your phone camera to just view a space. And as long as it's rendering the correct space, you'll view it as an augmented reality instead of a virtual reality.
I know. I don't know about you, but I've tried augmented reality like apps and things like that, and they just don't work. The processing on the GPU that's on your phone, it just can't cope with AR. Like, I remember trying to do it on
maybe not your phone,
Pokemon. Well, I've tried it on Pokemon Go, and it just struggles so much. The second you turn off AR, it's just like, oh yeah, it's a breeze.
So KAIST stands for the Korean Advanced Institute of Science and Technology.
Right. And then moving on to the anime, manga, novel, and audio book releases for July 27th to August 1st. 2026. The bulk of the releases were on July 28th, with some exceptions. In anime, Media Blasters released Genshiken Season 1 plus OVA Collection Blu-ray disc for $50. Sentai Filmworks released Girls Last Tour Complete a Collection Blu-ray disc for $50. And Crunchyroll released ReZero Starting Life in Another World Season 3 Blu-ray disc for $70. And the limited edition for $70? That can't be right.
Yeah, that's weird.
It is correct on the listing for some reason, but anyway. Moving on to printed manga. Yen Press released Adachi and Shimamura graphic novel 7. Almark graphic novel 3. The Bubble Love of the Mermaid graphic novel 1, Bungo Stray Dogs graphic novel 27, Chain Soldier graphic novel 14, all for $13 each. In printed novels, Seven Seas released The Case Files of Jula Richard, novels 12, reincarnated into a game as the hero's friend, Running the Kingdom Behind the Scenes, novel 7, part 1, A Tale of the Secret Saint Zero, novel 5. All of those were for $16. And History of the Kingdom of Orkson, How the Barbarian Orcish Nation Came to Burn Down the Peaceful Elfland, novel 1 for $14. Viz Media released Sakamoto Days Assassin's Method novel for $12. In digital manga, J-Novel Club released on July 29th, Cooking with Wild Game graphic novel 13, Full Clearing Another World Under a Goddess with Zero Believers graphic novel 10, I Parry Everything, What Do You Mean I'm the Strongest, I'm Not Even an Adventurer Yet graphic novel 5, My Death-Defying Dog, Man's Best Friend, World's Best Savior, graphic novel 3, and Old Night, New Post, From Retiree to Her Majesty's Blade, graphic novel 3. All of those were $9 each. Then on to digital novels. Seven Seas released on July 30th. Saving a Weapon Shop from Bankruptcy After the Demon King's Defeat, novel 1. The Strange Adventure of a Broke Mercenary. The Strange Adventure of the novel 15. Sword of the Demon Hunter Kijin Gentosho, novel 14. The Weakest Tamer Began a Journey Picking Up Trash, novel 13. All of those were for $10. J-Novel Club also on July 30th released Taking My Reincarnation One Step at a Time. No One Told Me There Would Be Monsters! Novel 10 for $8. Then, lastly, in audiobooks, Seven Seas released on July 30th. Easygoing Territory Defense by the Optimistic Lord production magic turns a nameless village into the strongest fortified city, novel 2. Failure Frame, I Became the Strongest and Annihilated Everything with Low-Level Spells, novel 5. Roll Over and Die, I Will Fight for an Ordinary Life and My Love, With My Love and Cursed Sword, novel 5. And Skeleton Knight in Another World, novel 6. All of those for $25. Oh, so many titles.
Yeah. I like the one about the dog. That one sounded fun.
That did sound like completely out of it.
Of course, Xeno's favorite is going to be the Saving a Weapon Shop from Bankruptcy.
No, it's Skeleton Knight in Another World.
Xeno loves shop anime. No. Anime about shops.
Absolutely.
Right. That does it for the regular part of the episode. And now for our single factor rumor of the episode. Chained Soldier is getting a season 3. Xeno is happy to know this is a fact. Anime News Network reports. You love Chain Soldier. Anime News Network reports that the official Twitter account for the Chained Soldier, or Mato Seihei no Slave franchise, announced a third season with an accompanying announcement video and visual. The announcement came during a special event tied to the second season, which had just wrapped its 12-episode run after debuting on January 8th, 2026. No release window, cast, or staff details have been revealed yet. This is a production confirmation only. There you go.
Yeah.
That does it for the news this week. Make sure you stay tuned later this week for Kanpai Cast, where we're discussing why everything's a waifu. Why is everything a waifu? And normally I'd tell you how it went, but for once we actually haven't recorded this week at a time, so you'll find out what it's like about the same time we do. No, that's not true. We're going to find out later. You're going to find out Thursday. But hopefully we see you here for that. And then we also see you back here next week for more news.
News.